when it comes to hens parties, there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of have another shot, have another drink. There's a lot of overexcitement. You as a friend have a responsibility to take care of the person that's just gotten so blind drunk.
We just wrapped up a hen's night where the hen KO'd herself pretty early before the festivities were finished. The mother of the hen got her home safely, so I'm talking 7:30, and the rest of the party headed home. We'd already organised some entertainment. I think she means entertainment like strippers. She hasn't said that.
I
but
mean,
she
we're
said
reading between the
entertainment.
lines on this one.
Yeah, we'd already organised some entertainment. So instead of going out where it had been organised for, we made the call to stay in the hotel room and keep an eye on the hen, but still enjoy the entertainment. So there were just two of us. The groom found out and absolutely blew the up. Said we put the hen in danger, that it was unforgivable. He doesn't want anything to do with either of us. This is like a major drama happening right now in our group. My question, did we do the wrong thing? Is this blow up and subsequent major drama valid? Or were we fine to have a little fun while we still took care of our friend? It's created so much drama just a week out from the wedding. Is all the hatred warranted, or is he just being a complete dick?
I'm so confused. Wait, did the mother-in-law get her home to the hotel or to her house? Like, were you guys staying somewhere, or did you invite a stripper back to her home?
No, the hotel.
Okay,
So
you think it was a hotel?
100%. It's definitely a hotel. They decided to go to the hotel. The thing that confuses me is she said, we enjoyed the entertainment, just the two of us. So I don't know if two other friends came back and enjoyed it, or if she means there were two, including the passed out hen. So she just enjoyed a private stripper.
Okay, no, I from reading this, what I think has happened is she's gone back to the hotel. There's two bridesmaids and the hen has passed out.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, my private dance.
Otherwise, my feelings are different. Look, I think in this instance, the right thing to do would have been to cancel the stripper. Like, I definitely don't think
You've sort of paid for it.
Yeah, yes, you've paid for it. Yes, you've organised it, all that stuff. I do think it's kind of, well, actually, I think it's really inappropriate. I think it is inappropriate to have a stripper come to the house and be doing a lap dance while you are seemingly, when you say you still had an eye on your friend, while she's passed out in a bed somewhere.
Yeah,
I just
agree.
think like that's a situation. I don't necessarily think it's dangerous because he's obviously a paid employee. It's not like you found a random guy to come in. But I do think the whole situation really probably shouldn't have happened. That is my take. I understand why the fiance is angry, because he feels as though instead of taking care of her, you had a stripper come back and you prioritized your own fun, your own enjoyment over her and the hen whose night it actually was about. So I absolutely understand that there is animosity there and that he's annoyed. My only question is how is the hen responding to this? Like, I mean, I know he's angry and he's the one saying he doesn't want anything to do with you, but there's this kind of grey line at hens parties and also bucks parties where it's almost assumed that it's everyone else's responsibility when the buck or hen gets really, really drunk. It's like it's everyone else's fault that they've gotten so obliterated. But I do also think there has to be some self-awareness that, you know how much you can or can't drink. Like you have made choices to get that absolutely obliterated as well. It's tricky because I think that when it comes to hens parties, there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of have another shot, have another drink. There's a lot of overexcitement. And so sometimes it does happen. And I know myself that I've had friends who have ended up absolutely legless at like 4:30 in the afternoon and it's ruined the hens party. But I definitely think that if that happens, then you as a friend have a responsibility to take care of the person that's just gotten so blind drunk.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anyone to blame here. I don't think there's any fault in terms of who got who drunk, because at the end of the day, yes, there's encouragement to drink more at your hens, but you're also your own person that can say, no, I've had enough.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm not putting any blame on anyone for this. If I was the hen and I woke up the next day and found out that my friend, one or two, had been getting a lap dance or stripping or whatever was going on whilst I was literally passed out in the bed, I would be proper upset with that.
You'd be pretty off it, yeah.
Oh, I just think that's inappropriate. And we don't know, it's easy for us to say someone KO'd herself, knocked herself out. Is that just like she was too drunk to be out anymore? Or has she properly passed out? I don't know the use of the term and what condition she was actually in, but I would be upset if I woke up and I was like, you had a guy in here dancing, naked, drinking, partying while I'm passed out in my bed. Like, I would be upset. I think the partner has every right to be upset, but I do think it is a slight overreaction to say we want nothing to do with you and don't come to the wedding in a week. And I think that is a bit over the top. Maybe you did do the wrong thing, but you didn't put her in danger in terms of like laying her on the street and leaving her alone passed out while you went and partied. So I think I'm on both people's sides here. I understand what you're saying, that you think you took care of your friend, but I also understand his point of view where you could have probably taken care of her a little bit better or made some better decisions.
Yeah, look, I think a big discussion has to be had. And I also think that the bride needs to be included in this. Your friend needs to be included in this because it is very likely that she has expressed to her partner as well how unhappy she is with the situation. So it's not just him who's trying to, control it and is overreacting.
She's probably upset she missed out.
No, I don't know. I think that the friends really misread this and really did do something that kind of like, I don't want to say like, you've done the wrong thing, and I don't want to like rain down on the like you guys, because like, obviously you have written this in because you're so like, did we completely miss the mark with this? And I do think to some point you missed the mark, because when you are in your own safe environment, like she has been brought back to her home, to the place that is safe for her to be when she's totally incapacitated and can't, like, she doesn't know what's going on because she's so drunk. We've all either had a friend that's been in that state, or you've been in that state yourself. So to bring a foreign person into that environment where she's in the place that's safe to have this fun, where you're not actually going to be able to be watching her, or everyone's laughing around her, she doesn't know what's happening. I think that that's really wrong. And I think that that's like, you're taking advantage of a situation because you still want to have a good night on a night that's absolutely not about you. And I think if it meant losing a bit of money because you had to cancel the stripper, that would have been the kinder, more considerate thing to do as a friend.
I also always try and play devil's advocate and present or look at both sides. And I just sort of put myself in this girl's position. I guess there's a part of me that would understand if they've gone back to the hotel and it's a suite, right? Like, it's not just a hotel room where the bed is next to the little tiny lounge room, like if it's not one room. If you've gone all out and there's a suite and you've put, that she's not actually passed out, she's just drunk and needs to sleep it off. So if you're like, okay, we're going to put her to bed, it's 7:30 p.m. If you two are absolutely fine, I understand why you're like, you know what? We could still just have fun in the lounge room. We're still with her. We're here if she needs us. Like, we'll continue our night. I sort of get that now that I'm putting myself in it. I have no doubt if you are one of her closest friends, it would not have been any part of you that would have been a conscious decision of like, let's do this if we think she's actually in danger. If you thought there was any proper danger, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I think you wouldn't have done it. So I understand how you probably were in that position and thought like, hey, she can sleep it off. We'll stay here. We'll try and make the most of our night. But then I can understand why the partner has gotten upset. So I do want to say, I 100% see both sides. I don't think anyone has done the wrong thing per se, but you need to go into that conversation with the fiance being understanding of his feelings. You need to say, I am so sorry that you feel like that, and I want you to know that I understand why you think that. I need you to know that I never, ever would have done something if I thought that anyone was in danger, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you make a really good point, Britt, is that we don't have all of the pieces because there is a version of this story that is way worse than the alternate version. Yeah. And we're assuming that it is the less bad option. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to assume that.
We're trying to assume that, okay, like these are the reasons and maybe he's overreacting a little bit. But also it's probably safe to assume that he is making assumptions as well around what happened because he's filling in the blanks. All he knows is that his fiance was passed out and you had a stripper come to the hotel. Like, that sounds pretty fucked. Yeah. I absolutely understand why he has the feelings he has. A very big conversation has to be had. But also I think that this is I don't think that this is a common thing that's ever going to happen, but it's a good conversation that we are having because it does make you go, okay, well, if my friend was in that situation,
what would I do?
What would I do? And maybe before you make a decision that really isn't the kindest, most conscious or safest choice for that person, you would think twice about it, because I think it was more so just a moment of being thoughtless rather than actually going, okay, what could be the implications of this? What could happen if we have someone coming into this apartment when our friend's blackout drunk?
Yeah.
Is that a good idea? No.
I'm dreading my hens, and I'm going to put this out here right now. You guys know I don't shot. I'm no peer pressure for shotting. I'm not shotting, but I'll be having cocktails. I will be drinking. But the thought of doing shots, I've never been a shotter in all of my life. The thought of me doing shots makes me feel sick thinking about it.
But I also think you have the type of hens that reflects the type of person that you are. No one was doing shots at my hens.
Breakfast,
we,
brunch,
we
in
had
bed?
we had cups of tea at 8 p.m. Do you know what I mean? Like no one was getting blind drunk at my hens, and we all had an awesome weekend.
I did
We also
crump in your
painted
face.
a
Yeah.
naked man. That was
Yeah.
fun.
So we
that was
still-
arty.
Yeah, we still had all of the elements of what would make a fun hens, but like we got up first thing in the morning and there was a naked dude in the apartment and we did like
For
live
breakfast.
We did live drawing and we all drank mimosas around him. You know, like it wasn't no one was getting turned, I guess. Like that's probably the bigger thing.
Yeah.
I certainly wasn't.
I think it also happens when you get engaged or get married, like later. I want to say later in life in terms of not in your early 20s, but like when you're in your late 30s, it just hits different.
I know what you would love. You would love like a massage and all of us having a really nice dinner somewhere with a view and then going home and being in bed by 8.
Keisha, you're making me sound boring.
No, the reason I know this is because I'm like, that's also my dream.
Yeah, it's my dream.
Can we please do that for your hens?
If I could get all my friends to have like a spa treatment and relax and kick back with some cocktails, really great food, maybe a boat. I don't know. Like I love the idea of like the nude drawing or something that's a bit spicy, topless waiters, whatever. I love that idea, but I don't want anyone else's dick in my face.
So you don't want strippers? Not asking for a friend, specifically asking
You
for
don't
a
want
friend.
strippers. I'm gonna get you a big raging cock running around.
I'm not opposed to a stripper, but like in the daylight still. I don't want to be drunk at midnight with a dick in my face.
I also think that strippers are not all cut evenly. Like I have been to loads of
No, they're
hen
not.
parties.
Some are circumcised and some are not.
I've been to loads of hen parties that have had strippers, and some of them I have found funny and have like really enjoyed, and some of them I've been like, that is way too much and it's so over the line. And the problem is you don't know what version of a stripper you're gonna get. And I remember one hens party I went to and I was like, I feel so uncomfortable. And I could tell that my friend was also uncomfortable. And I was like, we were also very young, and I think if I was older I would have responded differently. But you don't know the performance that stripper is going to do unless you have seen it beforehand.
you
And
know who-
some of them are way worse than others.
Who would be good, who I would approve. I actually have spoken to him before online. Not in that way, in a business sense. Wow, this sounds so bad.
I did slide into his DMs.
The very famous stripper in Australia, he works for Magic Mike and he looks exactly like Channing Tatum. Have
Yeah.
you seen him?
Yeah, I've seen him.
When I say I spoke to him, I need to clarify this because someone's going to run with it. I think it was about a radio segment many, many moons ago. We were going to get him on. Someone like him would be great because he's fun. He gets it. He's an actual performer. Like his job is to dance in front of people and make people's night feel great. So if he's listening to Life Uncut,
I actually think what you just said is really interesting though, because it relates to the question that this girl has written in. The partner, like the fiance who's mad at her, he doesn't know what type of stripper you had either.
but there's also a chance that he might have some anger or be upset because maybe he didn't even know there was going to be a stripper. Maybe he's upset that there even was a stripper that night. You know, like they might have had a conversation between themselves where there wasn't, you know, you go have your hands, I'll have my bucks, none of us have strippers. And then to find out that the stripper turned up.
He may have been okay with a stripper, but that doesn't mean he's okay with a stripper if she's unconscious.
Yeah.
Like that's a totally different conversation.
No, I'm just
So-
adding the extra level that there is a chance he might not have even known there was a stripper involved that night. Anyway, full
Yeah.
stop, regardless of the drinking. I'm just saying like there's an extra level that sometimes people organize hens without consulting the other partner. Like, you know, if you guys were going to organize my hens, chances are you're probably not going to message Ben and say, is this okay? You know, you think you'd know your friends enough to do it. So there's a chance that like that wasn't even communicated.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot in this stripping convo, isn't there?